What's up everyone, this is Brian from Bull Strength coming at you with another video, and today's kind of a weird one. Not really going to be giving too much advice. This is kind of just more of an update as to why I had a pretty decent upload schedule and then suddenly disappeared. So basically I slipped a disc in my lower back, which actually two of my discs, L5S1 and L4L5, and the slip discs have slipped kind of off to the side and are compressing my spinal nerves, which is giving me really bad sciatica, neuropathy, all kinds of stuff. So I'm not really able to sit right now. I haven't really been able to sit since September time frame. Been in and out of the hospital. Okay, just a little interjection letting you know that I recorded this video about 3 weeks ago and that things have changed. I've regained the ability to sit. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll let you know what has changed. Recently I had MRI done. So before I, made this video kind of explaining what's going on, I wanted to have a full idea of what was going on, because kind of on my part it was a lot of guessing. And the initial diagnosis that I got from my doctor wasn't even right. So, so I'm dealing with slip discs and osteoarthritis, which, I've lost the ability to sit, which is why I'm awkwardly standing up, holding a microphone. I don't have a boom or anything out here. Not able to really do my regular setup. My path forward, basically, I've been told by several people that I will be able to get back into strength training. Not only that, but, heavy strength training. Basically, I'll be able to get back to where I was, which is really good news. I was worried about it for a really long time. But basically what they're saying they're going to have to do is cut off part of my discs. The part of my disc that's sitting on my spinal nerve, they're going to cut that off. It's supposed to be a non-invasive surgery with a pretty quick recovery time. So whenever that happens, I should be back on my feet pretty soon. Since September, I've been kind of just dealing with it on my own. Obviously, I just got my MRI recently. Unfortunately, the VA, who I, see for my medical stuff, everything moves really slow. So I waited for months before I had an MRI. But I was trying to maintain as best as I could. And in this video, I want to share with you sort of the supplements, the diet approach that I've had, as well as the exercise routine. Obviously, I have not atrophied too much for, getting injured back in September. It's just that my list of exercises is very limited. So I'm going to go over those. So if you're dealing with herniated discs or osteoarthritis like I am, AKA pretty much constant pain. I'm feeling pain right now on my lower back, down my leg. That gets worse when I sit. So, and it's instant. As soon as I sit down, I feel the numbness on the anterior part of my shin down here. It runs through my calves, through my quads, through my hip flexors, through my hamstrings, especially through my glutes, where the spinal nerves are actually being compressed. That's probably the worst amount of pain. So anyway, so there is a path forward. I do plan on coming back to YouTube and making, regular video content. I have something planned. I have a book review planned. I've read the entire book. I've taken all of my notes. I just need to be able to sit down to actually go through it. It's going to take a long time to digest and, present the review. And I want to have some good editing in there. So I need to have the ability to sit again. So let's talk about the supplements that I've been taking first. So glucosamine MSM, I just started taking right off the bat, and I didn't really notice any improvements, but my condition, which was sort of slipping downhill, kind of paused. It didn't really get any worse. And this was confirmed by my doctor and my chiropractor when I brought up that I was taking glucosamine. They basically said it's very good at basically preventing further injury, and then once it's actually, been healed, the surgery's been done, it's going to play a big role in repairing the damage from that. So glucosamine MSM, I've also been taking collagen peptides. which are basically prearranged amino acid chains. It's basically a protein powder that's just more easily digestible. And I've read some studies on, it benefiting injuries, speeding up the repair, especially with cartilage and stuff like that. Just so, let me just say real quick, I'm not a physical therapist and I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I am when it comes to diet and nutrition. However, when it comes to something this specific, like rehabilitating or relieving pain from osteoarthritis, I'm definitely, not as well versed as like your physical therapist or something like that. So just throwing that out there, and that applies to the exercise advice that I give too. Everybody that has a herniated disc, your condition is probably different than mine. You might have the ability to sit, you might have a hard time standing, whatever. Thankfully, I'm able to stand, I'm able to walk. I'm just like not really able to run or sit. So I spend all day either standing, walking, or lying down. Thank you, Steam Deck, by the way, for making the lying down part a little easier. So also I've been taking turmeric, curcumin, just sort of for the anti-inflammatory aspect. I was prescribed naproxen, basically a leave, and I take that maybe if I know I'm going to do some driving, because I still have to drive, right? I just sit on sort of a memory pillow when I do it, but if I know I have to drive, if I'm going to have to sit for a while, I'll pop a naproxen in the morning, and that usually does a okay job. I mean, the pain is going to flare up no matter what. That's one thing that I found so far, is that everything that they've given me, nothing has really worked. The ibuprofen, they gave me muscle relaxers, they gave me a site injection, cortisol steroid injection directly into the injury, and none of it has helped. Very, very, very tiny amount. So anyway, so we got the MSM, glucosamine, collagen peptides, magnesium fish oil, sort of your typical, supplements that you would take for an injury, like repairing an injury type thing. And then, like I said, the collagen peptides. I don't have a list in front of me, so. And then I take a multivitamin just to make sure my bases are covered. As far as my diet, I'm just trying to eat a lot of protein and fat in general. I'm not exactly in like a keto diet or something like that, but I have sort of toned down the carbs a little bit, and I've upped the amount of fat and protein that I'm taking in, only because, every cell in your body is made of fat, protein, and that's going to be essential for repairing damaged tissue. Okay, so exercise routine. So I've had to modify my exercise routine around these slipped discs, right? So I, at first, was taking it very, very easy. I was doing sort of some really easy core and hip isolation exercises. And it was a lot of trial and error. One thing might hurt, another thing might not. And it was this distillation process that went for a while. And even after fully distilling, like, I'm down to a list of maybe 20 exercises or so. So I'll run through some of the ones that I'm able to do with the slip disc that has kind of helped me maintain my muscle. So one is just your typical push-up, incline or flat. I'm still working the anterior trunk, shoulders, chest, and it, helps in keeping my core tight too. It is sort of like a planking type thing, so it does bring some relief there. I am able to do static planks. Farmer's walks, as long as I'm picking the weights up off of my bench, it's a process of moving the weights up onto my bench. And then basically I'll grab them from the start position and then go for a little walk with them. Farmer's walk and lunges, forward lunges, are the only leg exercises I'm able to do. So last time you see me, my legs were certainly a lot bigger. But it is what it is, I got to work with what I have. And then also I'm able to bike, which, biking is a very sort of similar motion to a forward lunge. So with the forward lunges, I've been doing a sort of a progressive program where, I'm using more and more weight on my lunges, just trying to keep it interesting. That's another thing too, is the exercise routine I have is really bland. I get a lot of my exercise, honestly, just working on the farm, feeding the animals, just doing basic chores. But in terms of exercises, I'm mostly only able to do isolation. I'm able to curl. I can do dumbbell curls. I prefer to do one at a time with one arm down at the side, curl it up, bring the other one down, curl it up. So I hit each arm individually, and if you bring them both up, you're going to start putting a little stress, or I will start putting a little stress on my lower back. So I try to avoid that. I found out more recently that I'm able to overhead press. So I've kind of started getting back into that. I managed to overhead press with a barbell with 65 pounds. I know this is the guy who once strict pressed 245, but I don't care. The fact that I can do it is a huge relief for me. I had a lot of worry about being able to come back because of how long I was in pain for. I'm still in pain, but how long the pain's been lasting, and then also the nature of the injury. I was kind of convinced that I would never get back into strength training, especially with the osteoarthritis, which is between the L5 and S1 is bone on bone with the vertebrae. There's pretty much no cushioning there at all. So we'll see, what kind of surgical stuff I'll have to do in the future to sort of fix that. So we got push-ups, we got curls. I can do lateral raise. That's about the only shoulder isolation I can do. So I'll grab my dumbbells and I will raise just one at a time. Because like I said, I'm not trying to put any kind of direct stress on my spine. So raising both at the same time, not a very good idea. So other than that, I can do pull-ups, which is awesome. That's actually helped me maintain a lot of back strength. And hanging from the bar obviously feels good on my spine. So I'm able to do pull-ups. I'm able to do face pulls, either with a cable if I go to the gym, or with bands. And I mean, other than that, I'm not really able to do very much. There might be like 3 or 4 other exercises I missed. But yeah, it's all very, very bland. I have to be very, very careful. The key is, like, if I'm doing any kind of experimenting, this is something to keep in mind because of the injury where it's at. I just want to make sure that my glutes are super, super tight and I'm listening very close to my body. If anything feels off, just pull the plug, that's it. I will scrap that exercise off of my list permanently. Oh, another exercise that has kind of served me well. It's one of the only ways I can target my lower back, but it's an exercise called gorilla rows, right? So you take a single kettlebell and you squat down like you're going to do some rows, and you pull it up with enough force, let go, and catch with the other hand. And basically you pass it back and forth. And with lighter weight, it's a pretty effective way of targeting my lower back without causing any kind of discomfort. Obviously, any kind of axial loading is off the table. No squats, no deadlifts. Obviously, I still have my range of motion, right? I'm still very mobile, and I can still squat all the way down to the ground. However, I use it as only a stretch right now. I won't even do like yoga pulse squatting or anything like that. I'm just trying to baby my lower back. So other than that, it's just a lot of ice, a lot of rest. And it just kind of sucks. I haven't been able to train anybody in person. I've actually had some solid client leads that I have had to kind of turn down, which sucks. So I'm mostly dependent on you guys online, if anyone's watching from my Patreon or from whatever other payment method or whatever. I am pretty much dependent on the online clients that I have left, which thank you so much for being so loyal and sticking through this. if any of you guys follow me on Discord, or if you're part of my Discord channel, there's a link below for that if you're not. But, you know, you've been kind of, you know, following what's been going on. I've been updating people on the Discord server. And, you know, I put up like a post on YouTube, you know, a while ago. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys, you know, need some online coaching, if you would like some help, or if you would like to just straight up donate, you know, all of that would be greatly appreciated. This is kind of a really rough time. You know, basically having my business pulled out from under my feet. And let me just throw out there real quick, before anybody starts assuming, no, it was not weightlifting, it was not deadlifting, it was not log pressing. It was construction work. Actually, I had stopped weightlifting for a few weeks because I was doing some work on our current farm setup. And I pushed myself way too hard. I did not listen to warning signs. You know, it got harder and harder to wake up in the morning, and I just ignored it. You know, I would just warm up and just, you know, go straight to work. And little did I know how much damage I was causing in the process. It's kind of brought an old injury back to life. Back when I was in the Army, I had injured my lower back. I had rehabilitated the injury on the other side of being in the Army, and I've not felt any pain from my lower back at all for a very long time. And I actually ascribe that lack of pain to being so dedicated to strength training and weight training. Doing the heavy deadlifts, doing the heavy squats and things like that really kind of bulletproofed my lower back. And my mistake was, ironically, stopping the heavy weightlifting and doing a bunch of high impact construction type work on the farm, which, you know, eventually led to where I'm at now, an overuse injury. But it's a previous injury that has been resurrected. It's been brought back to life. So yep, so I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to do everything the chiropractor tells me, everything, you know, I'm just following the advice of all of my doctors, not trying to challenge them or anything like that. Like, I just want this fixed. I just want my old life back. It'd be really cool to be able to sit. I really miss making YouTube content. And, yeah, I really, as soon as I'm good to go, I will be back. I just don't know how long that's going to be. I don't think it's permanent, and neither does my chiropractor or my primary care doctor. So I believe that I'll make a full recovery. And yeah, I just appreciate all you guys for still sticking around, following me, helping in whatever way, you watching this video to the end, hitting the like button, whatever it is, sharing it, you know, trying to put my name out there. Any of it will help. All of it will help. And like I said before, there's links down below if you would like to support me during this time. I don't expect you to. I'm not trying to eBay or anything like that. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have a good day. I know it's been a long time, and yeah, I can't wait to come back. So as I mentioned, I've been seeing a chiropractor. I'm now weeks into my chiropractic treatment. I'm also seeing a physical therapist, and I've been having them sort of guide me through the entire rehabilitation process in terms of what to do on my own. I shared with the physical therapist my exercise routine, and while he liked it, he thought that I could be doing more. I thought that because I had a couple of slip discs that axial loading was not an option, and it turns out that I was wrong. So one of the major things that has improved my condition is actually getting back into doing box squats, challenging box squats. So between the squatting, incorporating deadlifts, you know, slowly but surely, and, you know, working all of these things in a sort of progression, I've made a lot of improvements. Now, of course, the chiropractic treatment is helping a lot. We do traction, we do ice therapy. I've been also doing laser therapy, which I believe has been helping tremendously. I noticed an improvement after the first treatment of laser therapy. So anyway, things have gotten a lot better since I had previously recorded that video. I'm probably still going to need surgery on the discs, but we'll wait and see exactly what happens there. And to answer questions, why am I recording this, you know, 3 weeks later after I recorded the first one? And the answer is that I live out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, and our internet hit its data limit pretty quickly last month thanks to the Steam Deck. So that's an update. Things are a lot better. I am able to sit now, which means I'm gonna get going with regular video content again in the very near future. So thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.